So I wasn't planning on doing this video, but here we are. I was doing this just like I did in this other video with a different pattern, but it's not looking great since the granny square is smaller. So I'm gonna undo this and make something different but in the same lines, you know? So I'm doing 3, 2, 1. Look, they even reproduce. Now I have 12 of these, but your number might be different depending on, well, many things actually. The size of your yarn, therefore the size of your square. But the important part is that you measure around the ribs and you have
that number, and when you add like all these in a line, the number of the squares aligned, it's 10 centimeters less than the circumference around the ribs.
Because at the end we will have a line like this, and the last two will be attached to each other with a string, okay? And that's the lower part of the top that we are doing. Using a yarn needle, we will stitch the squares together. Face them right sides touching and thread the outer thread of the square with this diagonal movement. Continue until you have something like this. So this is the final band. I ended up using 10 squares, not 12, because if you try it on and it fits like this, it's more than enough. So 2 of them I didn't use. And about the cup, there are many videos that talk about many numbers and size references and all this, but for me, I have a small chest, so maybe it's easier. The only number I used was the length between the under boob and the center of the areola, like the nipple part. That's for me 6 centimeters, so that number is the length of the first chain that you're gonna be doing. And from that, you work around that and try it on and see if it covers enough your chest. And if you feel comfortable with it, then go with that. If this doesn't work for you, then I will be linking a video down below of a girl that explains this very well. So if my method doesn't work, then use hers. Yeah, so let's start with the cups. Make your chain row as long as your measurement. And then chain one more time and mark that previous chain. Now single crochet down the chain row, starting in the stitch that follows the one marked. I recommend you count them so you don't skip any. Once you reach the bottom, you should have something like this. Now chain one and turn your work. Single crochet up the row until you reach your marked stitch. in that stitch you need to single crochet 3 times. And mark not the first but the second chain. Continue this whole chain row. You need to repeat this until you're happy with the width of your cup. Next step is to start the cord. In this case, I'm gonna be using this orange color, mustard color, to do the back cord, which is more simple than the one that we are gonna do in the neck. But first we'll start with the back. To do this cord, you need to have extra yarn in one end. I use roughly 3 times of the length I wanted. So I had 3.72 meters extra. Then make a slip knot and loop the extra yarn from front to back around the hook. Then hook the yarn that it's in the ball and pull through the 2 loops. Repeat this. In my case, using 3.72 meters, I got 1.26 meters of cord. To avoid wasting yarn for the second cord, I'm gonna do some maths and see if they work. I wanted 0.5 meters of cord, so I needed to use 1.48 meters of extra yarn. And so repeat the same steps until you run out of extra yarn. So our cord is almost ready, but first we need to check if our maths were correct or exact enough. We wanted 50 centimeters, okay, of cord. And so we did this trick and now it's supposed to be 50. To measure this, try not to pull the cord, okay? It's 50. I can't believe this. It's 50. You can try your own, like, wait, do you see it? Let me... Well, hope you can see it. I mean, I'm not lying. But it's impressive. I didn't know if it was gonna work because the sizes of the yarn used for each of the cords were a little bit different, but in this case it worked. Make your own taste. That's all I can say. Let's keep going, because we didn't finish the cord. To make it thicker, I single crochet along the cord. Now we have all of our pieces, but they are separated. So we need to connect them through a slip stitch. We will start attaching the cups to the belt, or whatever the name is. And last thing that we are gonna touch is the this cord around the neck, because it's the thing that we will need to adjust the most. Yeah, I'm also thinking that if you see the cup and the belt together, it might be okay for a bikini thing, but for a top it might be too short for me. So maybe I'll add a few rows using the same stitch as the cup here, like up and down. And I'm still, like, I'm considering also this couple or 3 rows would be in the same color, but as I might run out of blue, I might start using also white and this orange for the bottom part, you know? Maybe I add something there, some texture with other kind of a stitch. I'm still considering that. And last thing I want to say is that the cap, the way we did it, if we fold it in half, there is one part that it's gonna be like wider than the other, and that will tell us what parts, what cup goes in which boob. So yeah, in this case, for example, the thinner part goes inside, okay, in the half inside part, and then the wider in the outside, or that's the way I do. As I wanted to make the underbust thicker, I started to single crochet all around this rectangle. When you reach the corner, repeat 3 single crochets into the same hole. Then double crochet at the top . And finish it with another row of single crochet. At the bottom part, I double crochet another row. By the way, I recommend every few stitches you skip one in order to make it more narrow, because I didn't and now I regret it. Now find the center of your band and mark it, because you will need to attach a cap to both sides of the mark. I've used a slip stitch to connect both pieces. Make sure that the right sides of the 2 pieces are facing, so that the stitch is invisible from the outside. back cord however you please. Attach one end of your cord to the corner of the cup. So now that we have our neck cord attached, we need to try it on. So basically, just do like this and attach the cord to the edge of the cup. Put it in place and everything. Make sure it's not pulling or it's too loose. And I always recommend to use maybe 1 centimeter less, because when you, well, depends on the yarn that you use, but when you wash it, it might shrink or the opposite. In my case, it usually becomes bigger. Also, have in mind that the stitches with the use will become a little bit loose. So yeah. And now with the marking pin that you have here, you attach the cord. And so you have the reference there. Sew the other side of the cord to the other cup and wave in the ends. So whenever we are ready and happy with the length of this cord, then we can chop it. And secure the end with some thread.
One eternity later.
I hate doing this. And it's finished. So, the piece is ready, and now it's the moment we've been waiting for. That is the try-on. And after that, I will tell you some things that I would change to improve this design. So, see you in a minute. This is how it looks. I love the design, and I think the color together, it's like a very pretty combination. Now, this is the back part, and the side, the front. Yeah, so things I would change. Probably if you're not comfortable wearing this kind of neck strap, maybe I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe if you have more breast, it's uncomfortable for you, but you can always, instead of wrapping it around the neck, just two straps that will end here and attach them there. Another thing, maybe if you have yarn that is stretchy, it will be better for this part. Because I'm thinking on adding a rubber band here so that it kind of shrinks this part a little bit more and I feel more secure. And what else? I think that will be it, honestly, because the rest I just love it. And yeah, the cups are surprisingly good. Like the stitch is so tight that you cannot see anything. Like there's no transparencies or anything. So that's very good. And I think that would be it. So yeah, if you try this design, this pattern, please show me in social media. I will leave it in the information box down below. And show me that you like this video and it inspired you. And yeah, that's it. See you soon. Bye!